You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm Ron.
I'm Terry.
Welcome to our sunroom as we bring you into our home and hope you're having a good day, a good week. Our last podcast was with our son, RJ, and that was a lot of fun. And then Fen ended up showing up.
We didn't even get halfway through the story.
We really didn't.
No.
Yeah, there's so much more to it. And maybe we can
get Lauren so we get her view. She had the bedside view.
She did. RJ was telling his side kind of, but it's she actually had some things that she talked about, the taco thing, but I'll leave that to her, and maybe we can get her on here maybe this weekend. We'll see. But anyway, today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about spring cleaning. A lot of people, I know this is a little bit later, a lot of people like to spring clean in March. And so we're going to do that. We're also going to talk about people and their phones. I mean, I know we're really attached to our phones big time. But this happened just recently where people just aren't paying attention. Light turns green and they got their phone and they're texting. I thought all the cars had Bluetooth.
Well,
I know texting is not Bluetooth, but
a lot of the cars and the phones have where you can talk and it'll send the text.
That's true too.
So if you're not using something like that hands off, you shouldn't have your phone at all.
We'll talk about that, and then we're going to talk about predictions made in 1900, and we'll see if any of them came true.
Okay.
The thing that scares me about the spring cleaning thing is I was trying to think of where I picked up this obsession that I have. Oh, excuse my phone. With having this cleaning, I have this
Your mom
routine.
Did she wash down the walls and the cupboards and
that
everything?
was my grandmother.
I know your grandmother did. She took all the curtains down.
That's correct.
She vacuumed the back of the sofa. I remember them. You'd go over and they were spring cleaning and they'd have all the furniture away from the wall because they washed down the walls and the windows and they got the vacuum on. They took all the cushions off and they sucked the back and the front and the underneath, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if they flipped the furniture over and spring cleaned underneath it.
They did. Well, I remember taking the kids over there, and you're 100% right. They did every wall. I don't wash walls down. I don't do that. Because if they needs painted, I wait 5-6 years. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but that's how fast it goes, though, because this room we're in now, the sunroom, we just painted. So
we don't smoke or anything. So
no.
I would think every year or two you'd have to do it if you've got smokers or maybe someone who cooks in the kitchen all the time. If you don't have good airflow.
But my thing was I don't know. I know I used to run a sweeper, but now I don't understand where I got this. That I have to have this routine, and it's not spring clean. This is something that I just can't get away from. Certain days, I will clean, like the downstairs, I'll clean Wednesday. And depending on which week it is I might do like a little more cleaning. And I'm not to say that our house is dirty, because it's really not.
Not like it was when we had kids.
But like on certain weeks, I will, what do you call that thing a duster that goes up in the corners. I'll do that on the week. I only work 4 days. And then that's when I do the bathroom tub. So is every week you're supposed to do the tub, or is it supposed to be every?
I did when I was home with kids.
You did every week?
I had.
We had 4. We had 3 kids.
We had 3 kids plus foster kids in and out. And I had them spraying it down every time they got in and out, remember, too, with the clear spray. And then once a week, I scrubbed the tub.
Yeah. Well, again, when you have that many kids.
Using the tub, yeah.
We don't, it's just the 2 of us.
I was afraid of them catching something.
And we take showers together, so that eliminates, not all the time, but try to, as much as I can. But yeah, I just don't understand like this routine. Like I'll do the downstairs on Wednesday, then Thursday. What is nice now is on Thursdays I'll just dust and I let that robot clean, vacuum. That's nice. I gotta. In fact, matter of fact, I have to empty that thing. But they were saying that yearly spring cleaning is on the rise because of COVID. 78% say they're cleaning their house big time now more than they used to. It's up by 10% because they want to keep their house healthy and safe. Yeah. And some people don't find that a chore. If you're working from home, I'll bet
it would be easier, like especially if, like your little robot vacuum cleaner, you could have it do one room every day and just one day go into a different room to start.
If it doesn't get stuck.
Working, yeah.
The most important places to clean in the home. I think it's obvious, isn't it?
Bathroom.
Bathroom's number 3, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Kitchen.
Kitchen's number 1. And the bedroom is number 2. Probably the sheets.
Oh, yeah.
If you're getting down and dirty. If you're getting down and dirty, you got to clean those sheets.
Like on those Clue shows where they put the black light on.
Yes. Yeah, they put the black light on that. Oh, boy. But those are some of the major. They say we spend 237 hours a year cleaning the home.
I believe that.
They say that's the equivalent of 10 days. And they actually had...
some of us more than that, probably.
They ask about the chores that they find most relaxing. And this is odd. There's 6 of them. And I thought it was kind of odd that some of these are the most relaxing. Like, number 1 is vacuuming is relaxing.
I've never really vacuumed that much since my first back surgery.
No, I've taken that away.
They told me do not vacuum after that back surgery. And so for 6 weeks I didn't. And after that, you just kind of took over the vacuuming. Wiping
down the kitchen is another relaxing chore.
It seems to relax you.
I cannot relax unless I know the dishes are done. Like, we need to do this podcast. I wanted to do it yesterday. Didn't do it yesterday. Did it today. But if I knew there's dishes or something that's in there, I can't. My brain won't let me concentrate on this. I can't. Because I know something.
See, and then my grandmother taught me that dishes in the kitchen's not done until you wash the sink out completely.
Yes.
Like scour it out.
Oh, scour. Well, I don't.
Yeah, sometimes it's really nasty.
Oh, it's nasty. Yeah, it can get nasty.
Whenever the garbage disposal stuff.
Yeah. I do clean that out, but I mean, I can't relax. I don't know why. I feel like I'm not doing something like that needs to be done. Like that puzzle that you got. That just will not go away. It's been going
since Christmas.
Another chore that they say is relaxing is laundry. It depends. If you put the reds in with the wrong thing, it might not be relaxing when someone gets home and all their white shirts are pink. That might be a problem.
Doesn't really bother me.
Well, you just throw it in the washing machine. It would be relaxing because you're not doing. I mean, we're not. I'm not hand screwing. They used to be. They would in the olden days. They would get out that washboard. Right. Yeah. We're not doing that. That wouldn't be relaxing. Throwing it in the washer.
Now, even if we have a stain, we put a little bit of Oxy in there and let it soak for a while.
Now, it did say here, as laundry, it says at least you can watch TV while you fold the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. That would be relaxing. Always trying to find the missing sock that the washing machine ate. Doing dishes is relaxing. That's where we missed the dishwasher. Yeah, that's we do miss. I do miss it at times, but then again, we just do. We do a lot of paper
really
plates.
Miss it weekday. When it's just you and I, it's like. There's 2 cups,
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's easy, especially when we're using paper plates.
Even if we do the big soup bowls and this and that, there's still only 10 things to wash.
Yeah,
everything.
We're pretty simple. I mean, there are days that, depending on if you cook a big meal and you use like 4 or 5 pots and pans, that could be a little bit, but that doesn't happen very often.
Well, and then I've been cooking on the weekend. I've been cooking my oats or whatever I'm taking for the weekend.
I mean, it's bad enough we can't even think what we want to eat anyway, because
Yeah.
nothing sounds good. That's another podcast in itself. Food, nothing sounds good podcast, because the food, I mean, trying to find something to eat is just ridiculous.
Especially if you want to eat healthy.
Yeah, which we might be doing. We'll find that out. That's another story. But number 5, tidying up. So just putting stuff away and organizing is relaxing.
It is if you had time. I mean, I would love to stay home an extra half an hour, one morning a week just to tidy up because I have a pile of, I've worn it and does it need to be cleaned, or, the laundry from the weekend sitting there and I want to put it all away or whatever.
I think what's frustrating too, because we've been through this. So we don't know our schedule from time to time. And I think what's frustrating sometimes is when you get in that mode, you can always tell when you're in that cleaning mode, because you'll say, I'm in the cleaning mode and I got to go.
Yeah, and I've got to brush out of the house.
Yeah.
And then,
It's
and then
frustrating.
it won't come back. Or I'll start something, like I've started cleaning out the cupboard and I've got a pile of clothes and then I don't get through it. And I don't get it finished because we got to go here, we got to go there.
And when you
we
come
only have
back,
one day to grocery shop and get stuff ready for the whole week so that we can be out of here at 6:30 in the morning.
Well, that's just it. I mean, if we're not working, then if it might be a Sunday before church, or it might be a Saturday before, and you're in that mode, that cleaning mode, and you're in it, and then when you come back, you're not in it anymore. You lose that.
Yeah.
So it's gone. But tidying up and cleaning the bathroom or the toilet, I don't know, depending on what's in the toilet, it might not be relaxing. Sometimes we have a visitor, I won't say who it is, and he always seems to leave a present. Now, I don't mean necessarily in the toilet, but it's clogged, and you got to plunge that sucker, and I've had that happen a couple times. So I don't know if that's relaxing or not, because it's scary as all get out.
That is going to bubble back at you.
When it's bubbling back at you, and that is scary. Well, that's even scarier when you're at somebody's house. I don't like to go to the bathroom at somebody else's house. And with my thing with the cancer and I had cancer and having sometimes certain foods will hit me.
And you have to
and
go.
I have to go, but I really don't. I try everything you can. You move around and you do all these special things hoping that it'll go away, and your stomach starts growling even louder and you're like, I'm not going to make it. Yeah, I don't really want to ruin somebody's bathroom, but sometimes it happens. It also says that older women who regularly wash up, clean their house, and cook meals have healthier hearts than those who avoid housework, according to research claims. So it says here, elderly women who did 4 hours of chores a day cut their risk of death by 62%. And these are the activities: dishwashing, cooking, gardening, which you like to garden. And now that we've moved it up here, hopefully keep the groundhog. I mean, he loves your garden.
Whenever I don't have to bend so much.
I mean, that keeps, but we've tried to make it a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just doing those type of chores could keep you alive a little bit longer so maybe housework isn't really that bad.
I was home with kids, there was more chores to do, and I had a routine. Certain days did certain things, and it just made everything flow. Then if someone had a doctor's appointment, then I was doing 2 or 3 things the next day. But I seemed to be busy all the time. I didn't, like everyone says, you're bored if you're home. I had routines, and then I had a couple afternoons that I could actually work on a project, whether I was crocheting about Afghan or reading a book or something. But
see, that's relaxing.
I never had
right.
Yeah, I mean, and I never had to worry about the house being too dirty because I had my routine. Certain days I did certain things. And I usually got that like oven cleaned once a month, in the refrigerator every other week I got to clean out. Nowadays, it could go a month.
Well, I mean,
I find something really bad in the back of the refrigerator now.
well, I think that's why a lot of people, we're talking about spring cleaning and those kind of things, but I think people are finding it tough to go back to the office because after you've done almost 2 years
at home,
okay,
and you had time to see what's in that back container in the refrigerator, and throw it out. Yeah.
I think it's freed up a lot. Not even just that. I think it's freed up people
for their weekends
because they're not looking at the weekend and doing all these chores that,
plus trying to get the baseball games and the basketball games or whatever your kid's into in.
Yeah. And
everyone as a family can go to those things because you already did the laundry. Mm-hmm. You put 2 loads in on Wednesday night and you did 1 load on Friday and, morning, and it's done. And you're ready for the weekend. You don't have to do it all, 3 loads on the weekend plus your grocery shopping plus your meal planning and all that. Yeah.
No, you don't. And I think that's where.
Except us, because we're both still working.
Well, we're working. Yeah. And I mean, I do, like I work, every other Friday I'm off. And those other Fridays, it's nice because I do the laundry. Just because that helps us if we got to go watch if we babysit or whatever. It helps. And I can see where people would really be hesitant to want to go back. And I'm not saying that these people aren't working longer, because we talked about, I think RJ, we mentioned it last week, is he does check
his phone,
his email and stuff. Well, there are people
after
that take
hours and stuff.
But I think for the most part,
I think the people that take advantage are the same ones that probably did in the office, though.
I agree.
Because there's always that one in your office that will milk something forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's always going to be one.
I've known people that work harder at not working than they would if they just learned to do whatever it was they wanted. And it would only took them 5 minutes to do once they learned it, but they work harder at passing it off to someone else than they do at anything else. You know?
Yeah. I just think that I think it's really going to be, I'm anxious to see now that I think we're in the better part of this COVID thing. Are companies going to keep the same schedule? Are they going to be doing the 3-4 days a week and then work from home?
Looks like your company is.
It looks like it. But I'm wondering, I mean, if everything, if things are getting done and they're happy with it, then I think that'll be the case. But regardless, I think it's going to be, I think young people coming in, well, I don't know if I should say young people, but
just graduating and getting their first jobs and stuff, that's going to be different.
Yeah, is that what they're looking for? I mean, are they going to be, because maybe they've seen their parents who have worked from home and now they want to, and there are jobs that people can work from home, right? They can do that. But anyway, we're getting off subject, but that, I think the idea is it kind of goes hand in hand with being able to spring clean.
Yeah.
Is being home and doing those things that you can free up, make life easier, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're home, you could do one room every morning and be done a week.
Now, there are some habits, and you want to avoid these bad cleaning habits that they say can make your home even dirtier. And one of them is going overboard with cleaning products. They said that using more product than you need won't get the job done faster or leave your home any cleaner. In fact, they said the excess product can actually form a residue that attracts and traps dirt and dust by using too much. And I can see people using maybe a little bit more than they used to, thinking that
it's going to kill the germs.
But I think they've said that it doesn't stay on
surfaces,
products and services as long as they thought it did. Of course, who knows? Science. Also says leaving dusting to the end. See, because they say that you want to dust first. And also, I learned this because I'm really looking up.
You're supposed to dust first or at the end?
You dust first. You don't dust at the end, because what happens is when you're supposed to use either a microfiber that picks the
Rag,
dust. So sometimes people will just use a regular rag, and all it does really is throw the dust. So if you're using that and you've already vacuumed, all the dust is right back anyway. So you're supposed to have either a microfiber or something that's a little on the wet side, because it picks up the dust. But they're saying that if you leave it to the end and you've already vacuumed, you'll just be spreading dust around and making the room dirty again. And then finally, using your dish sponge to wipe down the rest of the kitchen. I've been, I've caught myself doing that, where I've used the sponge and I shouldn't have used it on, because you said counters, right?
Mm-hmm. And I say when your dish sponge is getting a little dirty looking, then use it for the floors for a month and then throw it away.
Yeah, go from the counters to the floor and make sure they use them only for the floor, not back to the counter.
Especially when you have the dogs coming through here.
Yeah, we've had our share. And then, I thought that was the last one. There's actually one more: overloading the dishwasher. We don't have to worry about that because we don't have a dishwasher.
And you know what? I don't think we've really overloaded ours when we had the half size. So it was like every other day I ran it.
Yeah.
And sometimes all the pans wouldn't fit in just because we had the smaller, but it did cut down on doing dishes because, the kids would get cereal in the morning or whatever, and the top in 2 mornings would be full with their cereal bowl and their cups, and then the bottom with 2 sets of plates, and we were ready to roll.
Kind of wondering, because it's just the two of us, we don't think about it, dishwasher, but I'm wondering if we had everybody back, if we might think differently. In other words, all 3 of our boys came back, or maybe just, the two, or, RJ and Lauren and the baby comes, or, Nathan and Alexis come, or whatever, and they have to stay here. I wonder if we would think differently about not having, or Zachary, not having the dishwasher. It might be a different...
because they did get a cup out every time. Like, say they had Kool-Aid and then they were going to have milk. They wouldn't use the same cup, and they wouldn't rinse it out and use it.
I think we'd feel differently about not having a dishwasher. I really do. I think, because I know we're...
Because you and I mainly drink water.
Yes.
So we use the same cup for that water, all day. So we only have 1 cup at the end of the day to wash out,
Yeah, mine, I'm just using that what is this thing called? Thermos kind of
cup
that Jeff bought, and it works great. Now, I know Terry likes to do this. Now, she doesn't do this. She does this a couple times a year, I think, and that's go through your clothes.
I try to.
You do. It never leaves the house, but that's another story for another time. But they always end up in a bag, and they never go. Never end up where.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. In fact, where are the stuff? We just went through your clothes recently, and where are they? They're in the closet. They're in a bag in the closet.
Because I didn't get all the way through, and I'm trying to lose weight.
But I think sometimes you think, and I can't say you're wrong. You wait for them to come back into style. Because,
they will eventually. If you keep it long enough, it will come in.
I know, but that's not the idea. Is that if you don't wear it, what is it? The thing if you.
I know, but wide leg jeans are back in. Then why go buy another pair if they're still going?
Well, then you shouldn't have gone through all that stuff and cleaned them and put them in a bag. Just leave them hanging. Put them on the one. Well, here I'll tell you what they said, because this is what made me think about, because you do this a lot. You'll go through your clothes. You'll find sweaters you didn't even know you had. We just found that wine one, and we bought one at Sam's Club, and you already had one.
Yeah, yeah.
So you like to go, and she'll find outfits, right?
Yeah.
For work that maybe you didn't know, oh, this matches that. It's like a fashion show. And I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I enjoy that. But if you are struggling to declutter, okay, so this is for clothes. And you don't really want to necessarily get rid of it. Someone added a couple categories to their closet. This might help keep it from being in a bag somewhere in your closets. So there's items you want to keep, obviously. That's number one. Items you would donate or discard, and items I would hide. So in other words, you'd have items, and most of these, I think, that are in your bag, probably you just hide them until you're ready to use them again. Because you put in there donate or discard, but then we don't take them sometimes.
They eventually get there. If I'm really discarding them, they get there. There's been a couple times just recently I said, I wish I wouldn't have got rid of that because like it's back in now and it's like, I had one of them.
How often does that happen though? Does it a lot? I mean, you keep most of your clothes.
I had a pink sweater I can't find and like it would match what my pants I have on now. Same as, I
mean, I just think that.
But then I have an older one that's from when I was pregnant with RJ, and I have that one, and I'm like, why do I have that one? And I got rid of the newer one.
It just seems like we go through it. We have the. I know that's when you want to clean out because you buy new and you clean out the old. But in order to clean out the old, we got to take it somewhere. But I don't necessarily drive I don't go buy Goodwill or Christian, Mission. What is it called? Christian Mission. It's where we used to dump. But maybe I'll do it this weekend. What do you mean no? Why are you shaking your head?
I'm not ready yet.
What do you mean you're not ready? It's been since you've done it like 2 months. So you're not going to wear it, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. All right. I guess we'll just leave it in the closet. I'll just take mine. I've got a bag, so I'll just take it.
Okay.
All right. I won't take your stuff. All right. So when we come back, we're going to talk about you people and your phones because I just don't get it. I don't answer the phone. Do you answer the phone? Well, you have Bluetooth. I mean, if I don't, my truck doesn't have Bluetooth.
If my Bluetooth works and like say you're calling me and I'm on the way to work, I'll hit it. If it doesn't answer, then
you don't look for your phone.
It waits until I get wherever I'm going, and then I'll check my phone to see, like if it was my mother, then I would call her because I would be afraid that she fell or she needed something because she doesn't call me at that time.
Well, then you could pull over.
But if it was, the idea is to pull over. But I mean, I would most likely wait until I got to the parking lot at work anyhow.
So we'll talk about that, and then we'll finish up the show with some predictions that were made in 1900. We'll see if any of those came true. That's next. So please don't go anywhere. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. Now, it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. All right, welcome back. And we talked about spring cleaning and my obsession, which I need to. Well, summer's coming. We'll be outside more. Maybe that'll help. I doubt it. We're going to talk about phones. And I'm really surprised. I mean, it's actually getting worse. It's not getting any better. 1.6 million crashes because of cell phone use every year. 1.6 million crashes. 390,000 injuries are caused by texting while driving. That's texting. That's not. Now, the other one was actually just using your phone, which I mean, the Bluetooth I thought was supposed to help. Oh, by the way, I saw this. I don't know. I wish I could remember the name of this app. There's an app now that, you know how when we have our, we use it on our phone. We have maps, and then we had that GPS in the window. Well, now they have this app, and I think it costs $40 or so. I think it's on sale. Anyway, so you're driving, right? And it actually comes up on the window, but it's like you can see through it. You know what I mean? But it shows how the road is, shows what turn.
So you know where.
So you're not looking off to the side
to see where you're supposed to turn.
Yeah, and I thought they were showing a video of it, and how you put in your coordinates, and then when you're getting ready to make a turn, it'll actually show you if it had a real sharp bend, or it'll show you if they're light. And it's weird. You're looking, you're seeing all the cars, but you can see this
in the corner.
No, it's right in front of you.
Oh, okay.
It's actually right in front as you're driving. It comes up right on the screen on the windshield, and it's really.
I wonder if that would be distracting.
Well, they said because you see it, but you can see through it.
To go next.
Yeah, I mean because it's actually showing you, like, you know how you do the simulators.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of like that, but it actually shows you where you are right now and what's coming up as far as turns.
Right
and all that
hand
stuff.
turn or whatever.
I thought that was
windy road.
Because a lot of people, well, if you can listen to the GPS if she's talking to you, but sometimes mine doesn't work. But I'm really surprised at the texting. I had this guy in front of me, and I am in a hurry to get home. And he's not hiding it. He's got his phone and he's just texting away, and the light's green, and he's just got. I think I was just jealous because he could text with one thumb. I can barely do it with all my fingers. I can't get it right. But like you said, there are apps and all this other stuff. Even some of these newer cars, I don't have that. My truck is 2009. I got the bare bones. A lot of the
cell phones, you can just talk, and it'll text them.
Yeah, but sometimes that could be a problem if it
picks up words wrong. Yeah.
Right. I wish I could remember how exactly Joe's text was, because he was so excited about being able to get into this gate. And when he had said how pleased he was, it just said something about, I don't know. I don't want how it was
turned it around.
It turned it into instead of saying gate, it said gay. And it just, and it just turned into this whole nightmare because it's not, and you hit send, you're like, and you can't, you never grab it back. But there are those things, and yet people just refuse to.
Well, it's always irritated me when someone comes over, for dinner or to play cards or something.
Something is really shaking on this table.
And they can't put their
You hear it?
Yeah, I hear it.
I think it might be that.
They can't put their phone away to even socialize with us while
Well,
they're here. You know what I
that's-
mean? Like for dinner or for like whether we're playing cards or a game or for dinner, it's like they can't put their phone away and just visit with us while they're here.
That's-
That's very irritating to me.
Well, I think that's, I'm trying to think.
And I know I get mine out when we're babysitting, like when he takes a nap or whatever. I'll play
Yeah, but we don't
cards
do
or
it while
something.
he's,
No, yeah,
I think what's happening is it's easy to, especially with these phones, if your child is acting up, you just give them the phone. So all we're really doing is giving them a phone and there's no interaction. We're sitting around a table.
They're
and
not learning to socialize.
We're not
at
social.
all.
The social aspect of it, we're losing. No, I don't know how these kids are going to get jobs.
Oh, you should.
I just don't.
Sixth graders at school are horrible.
Because they don't.
Loud, obnoxious.
I feel bad because I feel like these phones.
Have no sense of who else is around and
Right.
how it's affecting.
Well, they're on their phone constantly. They're going to miss something. And it's not just kids.
Oh, no. it's
Adults are
not.
just as bad as the kids
Some
with
of them
these
are
phones.
worse.
And my thing is, with as many crashes, 1.6 million per year, you would think that people would say that, I know people in their mind going, oh, it ain't going to happen to me. And we see
But
these
we've
every
seen
year
cars underneath
semis. Yes.
You don't know if they got decapitated from texting while they're driving and the semi had to stop and they didn't see him until it was too late.
1 out of every 4 car accidents in the U.S. is caused by texting and driving. Texting while driving is 6 times more likely. This is interesting. Texting while driving is 6 times more likely to cause an accident than driving drunk.
I believe that.
Because I think you may not really know that, well, I mean, you know how many drinks you've had, but that's probably why you're trying to be more aware. But with texting, I mean, you're
If you're just
looking
going
at
a mile home, you're like, okay, I have to make it a mile.
Answering a text takes away your attention for about 5 seconds. Traveling at 55 miles per hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Just by answering the, something is rattling and it's bugging me. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know what it is. And yeah, there it is again. You keep doing it.
Well, no, it's just if I move my legs at all, it does it.
Yeah. Anyway, but I'm just.
But I'm not even touching the table.
Yeah, I think it's one of these mics. I think is doing it.
Is it?
I'm not really sure, but I'm sorry. We're getting way off stack. But like I said, I'm just really surprised with all of this information. 90, I think there should be a ban on cell phones in cars. I thought there was, but I don't. Maybe there isn't.
Can't you get a ticket if you're caught?
Well, they're even looking at. They can't even get tickets. People driving 100 miles an hour through a construction zone. And the only way you're going to fix that is ticket them. You either ticket them. That's the only way you're going to slow people down.
Picture and ticket.
It's the only way. And I know the one here over by Bridgeville, they do it every now and then, but I think you get like so many warnings, and that's not going to slow them down. You're going to have to hit them. Period. 94% of drivers support a ban on texting while driving. 94%, and yet we're still doing it anyway. 74% of drivers support a ban on handheld cell phone use. And again, with all this technology that we have in our cars, I guess my car doesn't have it. My truck doesn't. My truck, I have to roll up the windows. I have to use some muscle to do anything in my truck because it's older. But with all the technology, you'd think this would be some people would use, but I don't know. We got to tell kids. I'm just trying to, if nothing else, by talking about this, trying to save somebody's life. Because if we're not telling our kids to put that phone away, because if it's listen, I know there's sometimes things happen when you're in a car, but if the phone rings, you're that worried about it, pull over.
Well, like I was trying to find that LabCorp.
Yeah. Yes.
But I turned around, went back and got into the parking lot, pulled it out. Then there was a wee little sign. Here it was right there.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have found it. But that's because I don't drive with my phone out watching it. That's
Right.
why I thought, okay, I missed something. I turned around, went into the parking lot right there. And
You called me,
yes.
but you were in the right parking lot. No, you had to go for one.
Yes, I was in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I was in, but people would have had that out trying to say, oh, I missed it. And, trying to drive and it was a very busy road I was on. It would have caused an accident if I was trying to watch the phone and, oh, I missed it. Where do I turn around?
Right. That's the part that's kind of, I don't know. I just, like I said, with all this information, is it yours? You think it's your mic? That could be. Yeah, you're probably right. Anyway, but yeah, if we save one life by somebody just telling you, put your phone away, then I think we've done our due diligence. And I'm not, listen, I realize we're attached to our phones, but there's got to be some kind of happy medium, and we've got to find a way, I think, to sit down with our family and have some kind of communication. If everybody's on their phone and not communicating, talk to each other, you're losing touch with your kids.
When our kids were home, we still had family dinner, and no one brought their phone to family dinner.
Well, I don't even know. Did we have phones then?
By the time Zachary he came and ate whenever.
I will admit that phones, I didn't think about it when I was young because we didn't have phones. We had pay phones. You had to go to a pay phone. If you broke down,
use your landline, and you had the long cord trying to keep it away from your siblings so they couldn't hear your phone
landlines. Yes, but I see the good in some phones with that thing. If you break down, you can make phone calls, let everybody know. Although people still don't do that either, communicating with their loved ones, let them know where they are. But if you are broke down, you can call AAA, you can call help. So that is not walking miles and miles to try and find a payphone like we did back in the day. But it's just, I feel like we're losing touch with, families are losing touch because these phones, it's all about social media, and it's scary. It's texting. There's just so many, and there's so many predators out there that if your kids have a phone, they're young, you got to find some way to, block some of this stuff out because it's really ruining our country.
Oh yeah, TikTok. Look how many kids, they had that threat on TikTok, and our school district would not take that as a reason to miss school. People kept their kids out of school because there was a threat on TikTok. If your kids weren't on there, they wouldn't have seen it. They wouldn't have known. There would have been no reason, But you have to. If you have good security at your school, you have to trust the security. If they see something odd or unusual, they're going to lock down.
Well, but I think unfortunately, right, in today's society, you do have to take everything almost as if it's credible, I think. You hate to feel that way, but I think, it probably wasn't. Maybe they did some investigating and they didn't feel like there was any reason to shut it down. But, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where we're headed, but it's down a slippery slope with our phones.
Well, if they weren't on so much social media, they wouldn't have even known that there was a threat on there.
Well, but then again, sometimes those are. If you check somebody's, there's been kids that have gone in with guns, and if they hadn't checked social media, they might not have even known what they were up to. It's kind of weird. It's almost like they're
ones
looking
like that too, that are pictures that are not even their home or whatever. They get pictures off that. They don't even have access. Some of these kids don't even have access to that. They're pictures that they did off the internet and stuff, and they get in trouble just the same as if they were their home and that was their,
But they don't have any. But they have to. It's with the way things are today. They have to look at that. They have to, arrest first and check later. That's just how it is. And with some of these kids, I think when they are putting this stuff out there, they're asking for help. They really are. They're either being bullied, and some of these kids, in doing some of the things or saying some of the things, they're actually asking for help. And some of these ones that are really quiet, kids are being bullied. And after a while, you get, I mean, I don't know if, I was going to show you this. I don't know if you heard about it, but Chris Rock, a comedian, they were doing the Oscars, was told a joke about Will Smith's wife had her head shaved. Now, I didn't know she had alopecia, which is she loses her hair. Oh, she's having trouble. I didn't know that. I don't know if he knew that or not. But she had shaved her head, and he had said, can't wait to see G.I. Jane 2. You know, and it wasn't a great joke, but because G.I. Jane was Demi Moore, she'd shaved her head. And to me, I took it as he thought she'd be a badass
in G.I.
because she looked good. Yeah. I mean, she had shaved her head and she looked great. Jada Pinkett Smith. Well, Will Smith had laughed about it first, was laughing, because it was just a joke. But when he looked over, the wife was rolling her eyes. He got up on stage and slapped Chris Rock, slapped him, and then walked away. I mean, that's assault. I mean, and then they didn't even escort him out. They let him stay, win an award for Best Actor. And it's funny how people are saying, I mean, comedians now, I mean, you can't say that. Everybody gets their panties in a bunch. And, I don't know whatever happened to Sticks and Stones, but apparently Sticks and Stones don't work anymore. With your bullies and that, because some people are overly sensitive and you can't look sideways at them. And other people, or you go and roll your eyes. You can be, just for doing something like that at the wrong person, you can be called a racist, you can be called whatever. You can lose your job over that. Over just rolling your eyes at the wrong person. Oh, well, you're racist because you did that. And some people will push it till you lose your job over it. Yeah. That's how sensitive people are. And then, you said, the kids are, well, he had been
asking
bullied.
For help.
Chris Rock had been bullied as a kid, and although he handled it, I mean, he kind of just stood there for a second, and he said, Will Smith, because you couldn't see it on TV. Mm-hmm. Because they have the delay, so they had
blocked it out.
And a lot of people are like, "What's going on?" And he's yelling, "Don't say my wife or whatever." I don't know. Will Smith was, and the whole thing was that the way he handled it, as far as Chris Rock, I thought was he kind of stood back, went on with the next. He was presenting for, I think, a documentary, but the whole thing was like, wow, this is what's going on. Is this all comedians now are on? You can't say anything. I don't know. It's getting it's getting interesting, our world. But anyway, let's get off of that, and let's find out what some of these predictions were made in 1900. Ladies' Home Journal made these predictions back in 1900. It says Mexico will ask to join the United States. Well, I think we can all admit that hasn't happened, although a lot of people come over the border. So maybe in a way that is true. The letters C, X, and Q will be gone from the alphabet. Apparently they don't think C is useful. Russian will be America's second language. You missed that one. It's China. It's Chinese and Mexican. Well, it's Mexican too, isn't it? Spanish. Mexican, yeah. Strawberries, these are predictions made in 1900, strawberries will be as large as apples. They haven't gotten that big. They're pretty big then. There's some big strawberries. And everyone will walk 10 miles a day. That was a prediction made in 1900. Is that 10,000 steps?
No. 10 miles a day. If everyone walked 10 miles a day, that's what they used to do. Now, the invention of the car did away with walking altogether.
Well, yeah. I don't know if I want to, 10 miles a day. Okay, we're not walking 10 miles a day then. So none of these predictions We know CX
most
and
people
Q
are
are still in
lucky
the
to
alphabet.
walk a mile a day, depending on the kind of
Well,
job
it depends on
you
the
have.
job they have. You know, although we have these little scooters now, so some people, depending on if you're in a warehouse, you can ride these scooters all over the warehouse. Which I wouldn't. You know, I like those little carts too. Are kind of fun to go flying up and down in the warehouse. But yeah, those are some of the predictions that were made in 1900. So I guess none of those really have come true. I'll be looking for strawberries as large as apples, but they won't. I don't know if they'll taste as good. They might not.
Might take too long to ripen.
Yeah, it might be. That's it. We're done. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe or follow. That way you'll get an update on all our new releases that we bring out a new show every Monday, and you'll get an alert for that. So make sure you do that. Maybe you want to check out our Facebook, Twitter page, Just Talking Out Loud. We'd appreciate that. And we do appreciate everyone that tunes in every week. And we hope we're bringing you some kind of information or something that, you know, we're just telling you our views.
Interesting.
Just something interesting. We hope we're bringing that to you, and something different every time. So have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
I'm Terry.
I'm Ron, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.